Anybody home? Okay, since it seems to be late, we're going to go ahead and get going. All right, there we go. We are going to subscribe and like and hit the bell icon on this channel so that everybody can watch it and I can make some more money or get some extra money to help take care of mom and her house. Which, that doesn't seem like I'm getting a whole lot of viewers as of right now. And the reason why you're seeing this movie here on YouTube is because YouTube started messing with me at the beginning of 2.2 and removed 3 of my videos. Basically the same kind of content. I got to reposition just a little bit, a little too low. Anyway, so they YouTube decided they wanted to play their paganist politics with me, which doesn't seem to be working for them because I'm still dropping all kinds of videos on this channel. So this is a Race to Which Mountain is a alien landing type video. It's a science fiction action, romance, love story type thing. Now, they've had 4 more versions of Race to Which Mountain earlier, which I'm hoping that I've got, or if not, I'll find them and get them in the collection because I like them. So anyway, Race to Which Mountain, this one starred Dwayne Johnson as a taxi cab driver, and then they got 2 kids that star along with him, playing the aliens. Then they got another one that plays science. This is a Disney film, I believe. At least they didn't put all kinds of politics in there. There's some in, but not as much as they would normally do or have been doing lately. Now this one is 2009, so the whole movie basically says that it's a save the planet type movie. Only it's somebody from a different planet saving our planet. So basically the whole idea is the kids crash on Earth outside of Las Vegas, 45 miles outside of Las Vegas, and their spacecraft so that they can save the Earth and save their home planet, because apparently they've blackened the skies with soot and dust and not taken care of it. That's one of the politics. That's politics, but pretty good idea. The way they're doing it, the way they did the movie anyway, it's a pretty good idea. So the kids end up getting to Las Vegas on their own through terrestrial transportation. They end up, after they showed Dwayne Johnson living in a motel room, because it is expensive to live in Vegas and Reno, they're showing Dwayne Johnson driving people around in a cab the night before for a UFO convention at Planet Hollywood, which they make some jokes about that. That's pretty good. So the next day, Dwayne Johnson ends up in his cab and he gets blocked by some bookies that want to collect money from him or get him to drive for them to collect money. It's always about the bookies. It's kind of interesting how they do that, but it's always about the bookies. So, lost my train of thought. So he drives the kids want to go to a place or coordinates just outside of Las Vegas, which is in the opposite direction of where they put their ship down. Excuse me. And they end up going 15 minutes outside of Las Vegas, desert trail miles in a cab, considering they just robbed an ATM the day before. They can afford it. They got the whole everything the ATM held. They said $10,000, but it was $20,000. Anyway, so the SUVs, they get SUVs chasing them, so they think it's the bookies SUVs because it's the same color, same type, black Chevy SUVs, the black car. Chasing them, they end up destroying 3 or 4 of them in the chase, and when they get to where they're going, which is just the first part of the movie, which is all kinds of interesting twists and plots to this so far. Then Dwayne Johnson drops them off at the cabin where they're trying to get, where apparently their parents were staying before they were recalled to their home planet to go into prison or something. So apparently they sent another spacecraft after it to kill the kids, and it's called a Seth or something. It's like a robot killing machine. and they end up running into it in the lair after they go through the pimped out refrigerator, and they end up downstairs in a greenhouse or grow house with artificial light. Technology from another planet type of artificial light. So they end up finding what they want in there, and then end up going back to Vegas the long way. They end up making a couple stops to get the car repaired and all that fun stuff because it's been getting beat up. They end up driving on a train track on the way. Spaceship gets hit by the train. It turns out to be a pretty interesting movie with lots of twists and turns. My nose keeps itching, and I don't know why. I'll have to fix that after I get through with this. Anyway, so they end up back at Planet Hollywood to find a doctor that our star Dwayne Johnson knows. And he ends up finding her and they end up convincing her with some magic tricks. And then they end up getting together. They were going to go back to the cab and take off after they found the information they needed at the UFO convention or where the ship was going, which would be Wish Mountain. So she ends up joining forces with them, and they end up taking a motorhome from the guy that got the information. They called him Harlan. So they drive to Witch Mountain, which is in Arizona, so they have a long way to drive. And then once they get there, the kids get taken from them with darts, and they end up in an experimental lab, and the other 2 get kicked out, or mostly kicked out. They end up coming back, sneaking in through ventilation pipes, which every place I've been like that, they don't have that kind of thing, but makes good for the movie. So they get this robot killer thing coming in through the front door, blowing everything up, blowing holes in the big 7,000-pound door or something, big piece of steel you can't really go through easily. And the military's focusing all their attention on there, and then all they have to do is distract the guards to get to the ship, and once they get to the ship, they get shot at by the group of military people trying to stop them, and then it's one of them changed the molecular. One of the alien kids changed the structure so they can all withstand being shot with guns, and when the shooting's over, they have a conversation, not so polite, and then they end up getting in the ship, getting it all fired up, and then they run over the robot. They thought they got him, and then ends up that he's stuck in the entranceway, and they have to go fight him. And then they end up dropping our 2, Dwayne Johnson and, well, I'm going to call him girlfriend or helper, whatever. Look like girlfriend to me, but, it's the way the movie's meant to be. So they can take the the trip at light speed to 3 million light years away from Earth to go save their planet so they don't come back. And then, it's a happily ever after movie. They end up coming back after they leave a communicator for them to call, and they get the phone call, and then that's where they end the movie with girlfriend and Dwayne Johnson married. It's a Disney movie. Everything's got to end happily ever after. And you guys got to remember that these movies aren't real life. Whatever they're teaching you, if it ends at happily ever after or not, it's not real life. It's not the way things really work in the world. But anyway, this was distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. It came out March 11th, 2009 in Egypt, and it came out March 13th, 2009 in the United States. It's kind of crazy. Then it runs 108 minutes. In United States, St. Louis, they spent $50 million on this thing. You think they spent more. And at the box office, it made $106.4 million. And I guess they based it on a true story. Race to Wish Mountain book, based on a true story. Now, I'd like to hear that story. We have aliens visiting the planet, and we're making movies about them. That's kind of interesting. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Maybe I can get my nose hair issue fixed by next week or tomorrow, whichever the case may be for you. And we will talk at you next time.